What is going on with y'all, man? It's Black Balloon, and we coming back with another video, so y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all, the other day, as soon as I dropped that juvenile video, y'all was instantly in the comments asking me to do a video about Jackie O, DC Young Fly's wife. You know, to just to start this video off, it is very tragic at the end of the day. Regardless of what we feel, regardless of how much we speculate about her death, 3 young kids are left to just their father, and 3 little girls at that who are gonna need their mom. So regardless of what we think, that is the ultimate tragedy, and I couldn't imagine being in that situation if I was a father, if I was in that situation, and if it's what we think, I couldn't imagine knowing behind the scenes that this happened, probably because of my career and the future things that I want out of my career. But we'll talk a little bit more about that and see, if that is what we believe on how Jackie O met her demise, right? So real quick, just a little background of the official narrative. It says Jackie O, born Jacqueline Smith, was staying at the Homewood Suites by Hilton Miami, downtown Brickell, where she was found unresponsive on the evening of May 31st. So May 31st was a Wednesday, right? Yeah, because the first was on Thursday. Yeah. So May 31st was Wednesday. They didn't really announce that until Thursday. And I just remember because I dropped a video that day, and that's when a bunch of folks was in the comments, all the Instagram posts about it, so on and so on. So it says, police were dispatched and she was transported to Mercy Hospital where, despite resuscitation efforts, she was pronounced dead shortly before midnight. The case is still under investigation. It says, according to Stanford Medicine, a mommy makeover surgery entails a combination of various procedures tailored to the patient's preferences and can include any combination of the following: tummy tuck, breast augmentation, breast lift, liposuction, and vaginal rejuvenation surgery. I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that existed at all. But typically, the standard mommy makeover entails a tummy tuck and breast augmentation. Smith had been in a relationship with DC Young Fly since 2015. So, you could pretty much say that she was there since the beginning. That was back when DC, they were just kicking off on Wild 'N Out. It wasn't really much of anything at that time. They were just starting out. I think she was already a Wild 'N Out girl before DC got to the show. It says they met while both starring in Wild 'N Out. At the time, Smith had been a Wild 'N Out girl for 2 seasons, so yeah, she was already on the show. And DC Young Fly was a rookie on the hip-hop variety series. The couple shared 3 children, Nova, Nala, and Prince. In 2017 interview with DJ Smalls, Smith opened up about pregnancy, her love for her children, and the pressure to snap back after having children. Now, we already know that snap back term is once women have kids, they want their body to return to the original way that it looked before they had a kid. She, quote, this is Jackie O. She said, I looked in a mirror and said, damn, I need to lose some damn weight because my stomach looking crazy. But it happens. I had a baby. Now, I guess this is a time where, you want to say, look, of course, women have children. When you're pregnant, no man in the world is ignorant enough to not understand that you're going to gain weight, in excess of 20 plus pounds and even more for some women. And it's going to take time for your body to reshape and go back down to the way that you looked. You can simply work out, natural, eat better, whatever you want to do to have your body snap back to the way that it was. And this was her admitting to DJ Smalls that it was pressure, maybe living the life that she lived and, kind of being on TV and being in the mix on the scene. That was what gave her that pressure. Social media could have added to it as well. But without this kind of mindset, if we want to believe the official narrative, this would have never happened. Another thing, she had just had a baby. You know, it hasn't even been a year. So the body is not even ready for any kind of surgery. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know why a lot of women feel like they have to have, you know, these kind of body enhancement surgeries, you know, just under the guise of like, you know, trying to prove something to people, you know. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I kind of understand it, you know, because you want your body to go back to what it was, you know, or it's at the end of the day, you just don't love yourself enough when you look in the mirror, regardless of how you look. Because you can love yourself, you know, look in the mirror and be like, oh, I just need some work. I just need to do some work. It's that simple, you know. It's nothing to, you know, make you want to go get body enhancements in order for your body to be back, you know. Because at the end of the day, who you trying to impress? In her situation, you with a dude, you got 3 kids. Who you trying to impress? You know what I'm saying? Like, he already done been through that with you 3 times. But anyways, I know some of y'all are thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, because this whole story instantly takes me to Kanye West and his mom. Now, I know I'm not the only one thinking this, because I thought it as soon as it happened. You know, I just had another video with the Anna Nicole Smith video lined up for Sunday, so I wasn't really ready to just drop this video right when it happened. Plus, I was really trying to give it a few days to see if anything else came out, but it's probably going to be a while before they actually give the, you know, real deal reason on how she died, whether it was heart failure or, you know, whatever caused her to die after having surgery. It also doesn't really tell us, she was in Miami on Wednesday, but it doesn't say she had the surgery that day. It doesn't say she had the surgery on Tuesday or Monday, so there's not many details around it. Now, we did get that little picture that was posted, you know, saying that she was about to go in surgery, and then there's a bunch of like rumors on Twitter and stuff that the doctor wasn't necessarily certified. You know, he was only a surgeon for a couple of years, so that stuff I couldn't necessarily verify, but those rumors were on Twitter, you know, because people are going to jump straight to it at the surgeon, because, you know, more than likely it was his fault, although I'm pretty sure a waiver was signed that is going to kind of dismiss him from it. It just depends on what comes out, honestly, at the end of the day about the story. But y'all already know what happened. You know, this goes right back to Kanye West's mom. Now, we know Kanye sacrificed his mom. Kanye said it. Kanye said it multiple times, because he's the type of person where this shit eats him up and he can't hold it in. And it goes, after undergoing liposuction and a breast reduction, Donda, then 58, left the operating room apparently in good health, but died at home the next day. She would still be alive if I had never moved to Los Angeles. That's what Kanye West said.
My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
My mama was sacrificed.
Said West would later say, expressing his feeling of guilt in an interview with Q Magazine. Now, we've talked about this maybe once or twice in the videos that I've done on Kanye West and Donda West. It says, according to People Magazine, the subsequent autopsy concluded that the death was due to heart failure as a result of multiple post-operative factors. The tragedy prompted California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger to tighten cosmetic surgery laws with the Donda West Act, which requires that all cosmetic surgery patients receive prior medical clearance following a physical examination. So this is almost what it's going to look like with Jackie O. Supposedly, it may be along the lines of heart failure. It takes you right back to this, and Kanye has no reason to say she would still be alive if I had never moved to Los Angeles if he didn't know what truly happened to her. He has no reason to say that. You know, it's not because of his career. You know, she's not the one that's famous and, you know, living the life that Kanye is living. So she has no pressure to go get stuff done to her body. But Kanye knows what truly happened, what he had to do in order for him to be where he is now, to the world. Because that's what LA is. That's what Hollywood turns you into. And this could very well be the same case for DC Young Fly, the podcast, 85 South, you know, and just everything that he has going. This could be even bigger. This could be Wildin' Out. This could be Nick Cannon behind it as well.
tons of secret societies, and I actually believe there's greater secret societies than the Illuminati. But
why is
the people who really run stuff don't want you to know that they're out there doing that.
Why is everyone successful in the Illuminati? Is Beyonce, Jay? Soon as you make it successful, they're like, oh, they in the Illuminati.
I'm in the Illuminati because the Illuminati just means to be illuminated, just to enlighten. But it's a concept. It's stupid because if you really dig deeper, there's families like the Rothschilds or even the Bilderberg groups. These are things that are actually factual, documented families that control the world and all the money and the banking systems in the world. But we don't, as a people, we don't study that. We just hear something bright and shiny like the Illuminati and think that we could belong to it. Ain't no black people in the Illuminati.
Yeah, I was wondering, man.
We barely got over slavery. How you gonna put somebody in the Illuminati?
Or at least the people who are aware of what really happened to her. Although she didn't die in LA, it happened in Miami. Alright, y'all. Now, this also made me think about Joan Rivers. Now, it says Joan Rivers died in a New York City hospital September 4th at the age of 81. Now, y'all might be thinking that she died from old age, but no, she didn't. Rivers was sedated with propofol before she died, if I said that right, of a low blood oxygen during a procedure to treat voice changes and acid reflux. Rivers lacked sufficient oxygen to her brain for a prolonged period of time, which caused brain damage. The medical examiner said her heart had stopped after she was sedated with propofol and undergoing procedures to examine her condition. The medical examiner's office said it found no obvious medical error and that the manner of death was therapeutic complication, indicating that death is an accepted possibility of the procedure she was undergoing, which it just sounds a little weird because she was undergoing a procedure for voice changes and acid reflux. And the manner of death was therapeutic complication, indicating that death is an accepted possibility. Says a person briefed on the Rivers investigation said an autopsy was not performed on Joan Rivers at the instruction of the family and in accordance with Jewish law. Instead, the report was based on a non-invasive physical examination and a thorough review of her charts from Yorkville endoscopy, where she was undergoing her procedure as well as her medical history. As a result, the report from the medical examiner's office does not explain what caused the sudden lack of oxygen. Then it goes on to say no additional information will be released by the office of the chief medical examiner. That is also pretty weird. Rivers was being treated at Yorkville endoscopy in Manhattan August 28th when she suffered cardiac arrest. She was taken to a nearby hospital where she arrived unconscious and was kept sedated by her doctors. Her daughter confirmed a few days later that her mother was on life support. Now, it's just, this kind of, maybe I'm reading it wrong and understanding it wrong, but it doesn't really make sense to me. Because it says on August 28th, she suffered cardiac arrest, where she arrived unconscious. But they're saying that her death was a therapeutic complication because of the procedure that she was undergoing. But on August 28th, she had cardiac arrest. So if she came into the hospital unconscious and from cardiac arrest, I'm assuming they ran the procedure, maybe the acid reflux or something. They're not explaining what caused her cardiac arrest. So to me, it doesn't really make sense because it says she lacked sufficient oxygen to her brain for a prolonged period of time, and it caused brain damage. And then it says her heart had stopped after she was sedated and was undergoing procedures to examine her condition. This one doesn't really make sense about Joan Rivers, but it's going to make a little bit more sense right about now.
The United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so
Let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my God.
I am now 81 years old. I could die any second. No. Don't apply. I'm not making. Like that. I could go like that. Do you understand how lucky you would be? Do you understand you would have something to talk about for the rest of your life?
She said that only, I think it was about 2 months before she went into cardiac arrest and died undergoing a procedure. Now, the one where she said that she could die in a minute now, just basically saying I could die, I could just be dead tomorrow. Guess what? That was actually a day before she supposedly went into cardiac arrest. Now, she was on stage. That was a day before she died. Well, a day before she was, took to the hospital. So I don't believe it at all. I don't believe that is how she died at all. I believe she died because of the comments that she made about who. I'm not even going to say their names in this video just for the sake of YouTube guidelines. I'm not even going to say their names. She's already said it. But, this is just another case. This is another example of how, these deaths are slick. They're slick in the industry. And you just never know. And now, what I do want to get into as well, before we continue the rest of this video, is what Azealia Banks said. Now, we all know Azealia Banks and DC Young Fly had a little beef. I don't know what caused the beef, what happened backstage before the Wild 'N Out show happened. I can't even really remember. I went back and watched a little bit of the episode, but I don't know who started it. I don't know if Azealia Banks started it or if DC Young Fly started it. But we all know they basically made her cry. I don't know. It didn't really seem like DC Young Fly himself made her cry. I don't know. He called her ugly or whatever it was. I think she was just a little overly sensitive about it because they take people out on that show. It don't matter. They attack you personally, but it's just jokes. It's just for entertainment. She ended up crying, and I guess she took it to heart. But besides all of that, it is definitely ironic that DC Young Fly partner, his girl, and I think I said his wife earlier in the video, but they were not married, so excuse me on that. She died at 32, exactly on Azealia Banks' 32nd birthday, May 31st, 2023, in Miami, Florida. Now, that's a lot of 32s. And if you want to flip it, that's a lot of 23s. That is definitely very ironic and not a coincidence. We would have never known this. Nobody cares when Azealia Banks' birthday is. And, people looking at it like, I saw a lot of people saying, she done put voodoo on the man or something like that, or been praying for this to happen, or, done use some kind of spell, some kind of witchery. Who knows? But this is wild. That's crazy. Jackie O died at 32 on her 32nd birthday, or on Azealia Banks' 32nd birthday, on May 31st, 2023. That's a lot of 32s, a lot of 23s backwards. So, this, I don't know, in the beginning, before I did this video, but before I started piecing together, like Joan Rivers, and we all was thinking about Kanye mom, I was a little skeptical, like, I don't know, man, it's DC Young Fly. He's not really that high up to be doing all this, but when you think about it on a deeper level, you think about other people that could have been responsible, could have been behind it, because they blood suckers in Hollywood, man. They like blood. They suck blood. They have things that they have to do. You know what I'm saying? They have to serve these demons, man. They have to serve these gods that they worship behind the scenes, you know, or that the people that own their contracts worship behind the scenes. You know, it goes deeper than just these people we see on television. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to let me know what y'all really think about this one right here. You know, I'm glad I caught this before I got the video out, which is why, you know, I didn't just rush and put it out. Just wanted it to kind of play out. So I'm glad I caught this. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. So if this, you know, if we want to go with the fact that DC Young Fly might have sacrificed his wife, the one that he truly loves, because that's how it goes. You know, it's always someone, it's someone close, it's someone that you really love, because there's countless amounts of, you know, cases where these artists and these actors, there was someone that they really loved that died either right before or right when they started to get famous. So it'll be kind of left up to see whether or not DC Young Fly goes up the ladder after this happens, and that probably would confirm what we believe her death to be. Man, that Hollywood is something else. That is one evil game. One evil game, and then you have to live with the fact that you know what truly happened, and it was just to further your career. You know, and I don't know, this stuff does happen. It does happen to regular people. You know, it's happened to a lot of women. I believe it's also happened to a lot of men. It's just, it's not covered as much, you know. But when this stuff happened to people that are playing that game, that are in that life, that are in Hollywood, I think he's on tour right now. I think he got the news when he was on tour. You know, as in DC Young Fly. He's on tour with some of the greats. So at the end of the day, this could have very well been that ritual sacrifice to take him to the next level. For Wild 'N Out success, for Nick Cannon, you know, something has to be given up for all that. Something has to be given up for that kind of success, for that kind of money, for that kind of status. All right, y'all. So yeah, man, that will pretty much wrap up this video for now, unless something comes out in the near future, you know, that kind of goes with our narrative of believing that this could have been a ritual sacrifice. Then I'll jump on it and have another video going for it. But, you know, there's not much else to talk about. You know, at the end of the day, right now, it's kind of speculation, because, you know, you're not going to get nothing from DC Young Fly. You know, he's still on the ladder going up, trying to go up in the industry. There's nothing out there that talks about DC Young Fly in the industry and things like that, you know. So at the end of the day, this could have just been a pure sacrifice for his career, for Wild 'N Out. Like I said, Nick Cannon, you know, since she was already on the show before DC Young Fly as well, you know. But at the end of the day, all we could do is speculate about this one, you know, because there's just not much else to compare it to besides Kanye West's mom, her dying from a supposed, you know, post-operation plastic surgery, you know, as far as getting a liposuction. So yeah, man, y'all already know what's going on, man. You know, apologies for not getting this video out a little bit quicker. I just already had another video lined up, like I said earlier in the video. So y'all already know, man. Just let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. I'm still working on a lot of y'all requests. So, you know, as we continue doing videos, just keep shooting them my way, and I'll put them down. So it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon. I'm out.